Hey, it's Jordan. We are in East Palestine, Ohio, and I'm gonna go give Norfolk Southern a visit. Try to get some answers. Should be fun.
Hi, how you guys doing?
I'm a journalist. I was hoping to speak with someone here.
Yeah, no. Do you have any type of contact information for
No, we're just in town
PR
today.
department? Yeah, there's like nobody.
Like, do you work here?
I do, but I'm not really supposed to talk to a journalist about whatever it is that you want to ask.
Well, we're reporting in town.
Yeah.
We're in a couple of homes. Smells like shit still.
Yeah.
People are sick.
So far, I've brought in different groups of people into my house. I know Chris was in one of the groups. We had another group Krista was in. Candy was in some of them. No one can really last in my house without having serious issues like, oh, this isn't right. After about 5 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. But it's definitely a noticeable difference. It's not something you can live in. It's not something anyone can work in due to the regulations they have for these chemicals. So why should I have to live in it? And there's no resolution for me. Yes, there was a court hearing. I opted out. But still, we have to make it work with the mistakes that they did. And no one's willing to test in my home. I have to do it myself. My house has formaldehyde above the allowed limits to live in, vinyl chloride inside and outside. And we're still waiting on anything to happen. People are still getting sick. We're hearing kidney disease, enlarged hearts. We're hearing so many different things that are going on.
I suffered through severe heart failure. My wife has high blood pressure. My one stepdaughter gets nosebleeds.
Heart failure and these other things. Were you and your wife and your kids having these issues before the derailment detonation?
Absolutely not. We were perfectly fine. Since this has happened, I've been unable to work. Like I said, my wife, she had like stroke level high blood pressure. My heart, it grew to double the size.
No, I'm sorry, but you guys have a good day.
So you're not going to talk to me about that?
No,
Okay.
but have a good day.
So what are you guys doing with people here?
Like I said, come on.
People are cancer.
End of May, and he diagnoses you with.
I was diagnosed with breast cancer the very next, at the end of May, I think. If I looked at my phone, I could tell you the exact date because I'll never forget it.
Right.
And of course, my reaction was, huh? Even the word cancer scared me to death.
Yeah, of course.
And me, I've been fairly healthy for 66 years now.
And it's also pretty unusual in men.
Yes, it's very rare in men. I looked up the statistics. I think the American Cancer Society had it at 1 out of 833 men.
Wow.
1. And I was one of them.
So I went to all the meetings they had in East Palestine, and the day that the CDC said, well, yeah, we know that you've been exposed to vinyl chloride. We can't do anything about it, but we could treat your cancer you might get from it.
Do I get a lollipop with that statement?
I'm going to tell you
Well,
something.
first of all, they can do something about it. Number one, they could give you all free health care.
Right.
And they could get us the hell out of here.
Have a good day. You're no longer permitted here.
I'm not permitted.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
It would be trespassing, pretty much. So.
it's trespassing to ask you questions?
I'm not inviting you in.
I'm not even in. I'm just
Put you on our property.
I'm just simply asking, you guys made $12 billion last year in revenue. People are having cancer. People are having strokes, seizures.
So then I got transported to another hospital in Youngstown. They can't find anything else in the hospital for a week. And then they sent me home with seizure medicine. That's all they could do. No answers. Like I said, they don't test you for chemicals or anything like that. I mean, I had everything done possible at the hospital, and they still can't find nothing, but I'm still having seizures. Right now, the people just came, and I had to have this wrapped around my head. It's what is it? EEG. A 3-day EEG, which I already did it at the hospital. I have to do it again to make sure everything's okay, to see, if there's something else. And then after this, I have to have this on for 3 days. And then after this, I have to go to the Cleveland hospital and stay there for another week. and be made a fool again.
And that does not look very comfortable, what you have wrapped around your head.
It hurts.
It hurts?
Yeah. Really bad.
And she gets headaches. Tell them how you feel sometimes, especially when the weather's bad.
Yeah, and just looking like this is just...
And you were healthy
Yeah.
before the derailment?
Yeah. Nothing was wrong. And it's just a good example. We're not making this up. I'm constantly worrying, like, there's something else wrong, or, you know, it's just constantly, I'm sick, I barely eat, I have to force myself to eat, that's another thing, like, ever since this happened. There's just a lot to it, and for people to say we're making this up is wrong. Like, this is just, look at me. I mean, this is real life. It's just like, nobody really honestly cares. Well, at least our government really don't. I mean, we've been made fools.
There's 8-year-old girls now having periods.
My 8-year-old, she's 9 now, but my 8-year-old daughter is one of the ones that Ashley was just talking about with going through puberty at 8 years old.
To get too personal, but you mentioned your 8-year-old daughter is now developing puberty in terms of her a cycle, or?
She's had multiple. We actually just went to a doctor about a month ago or so. She actually had got an injection she has to get every 3 months for a while just to pause it, because once girls go through puberty, they stop growing. She's 4'9", so that would be as tall as she would be. So we actually got it paused for right now, but she was going through menstruation cycles.
We have kids that are going through puberty issues with hormones. They're getting acne at age 6.
And the puberty issues are coming years before puberty would normally start?
I'm not a doctor. Keep that straight. I'm not a doctor. I've talked to people. I do know from having a family member that did go through early puberty. Now, it is very uncommon for a whole town and surrounding areas to have kids around the age 6, 7, and 8 to have hormones to produce puberty, to grow hair, to go through their cycles earlier, for young boys to grow excessive leg hair to the point where they look like a 15, 16-year-old, have an acne on their face.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to do anything more than a $600 million settlement, including health care? People need health care.
Okay.
Can I talk to anyone in management about that? Even if you give me a contact for someone.
Can I have your information?
Sure. I'll give you my...
Do you have a card? Okay. Thank you, Jordan.
What's your name?
Jeremy.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
Thanks.
So just left Norfolk Southern. Very, very pleasant conversation. Essentially, they have an office there that is basically empty. As far as I could see, there was one person there. Of course, he did not want to talk to me. He wanted to get me off the premises as quickly as possible, try and push me to some non-existent PR person or some type of lawyer to talk to and spin me. I did trigger him just a little bit when I mentioned, I think, the 8-year-old girl having her menstrual cycle early. I think I saw a twinkle in his eye of humanity. I'm not sure. Could have been humanity, might have just been a cold. I'm not sure. But it just seemed like it was slightly breaking through to his humanity of actually caring about his fellow man or woman. But then he just wanted to be out. So that's what these people are dealing with. A whole lot of nothing. A Goliath corporation that makes billions of dollars a year that essentially made them a sacrifice zone and probably severely overcompensated stooges like that fella who I guess can live with it, can live with the fake help and the state park they gave these people and the Easter egg hunt they paid for and the barbecues they paid for while literally standing in an office as everyone around them slowly dies.
There's no doubt. I mean, you know, it's people getting sick and, you know, the EPA flat out refusing to do any indoor air testing. I mean, they said from the beginning, anything that needs done, Norfolk Southern will pay for. So what's the big deal about testing the air in our homes and, you know, and give the bill to Norfolk Southern? It's, you know, I've been calling the EPA the environmental polluter's assistant in this case. You know, I mean, it's clear you just can't have a disaster like this and everything's okay. I mean, all the studies, the science that he's talking about, that's for one chemical. There was like 30 chemicals on the train, and
then the
when you mix all
combination.
them together, nobody knows what kind of stuff that there's probably not even names that they haven't even discovered the stuff that's here in town. You know, it's just, you know, I don't understand. We have so many smoking guns about, you know, how bad things are, but nothing ever comes of it. It's like you said, it's swept under the rug. It's.
And can I ask you, for people who didn't see, you were at a conference and were able to speak with former Vice President Al Gore.
That's correct.
What did he say to you?
Well, it was Climate Week in New York City, and I had the opportunity to meet him. And you know, he knew all about it. He on his phone he had the shot from space that showed the plume. And he looked at me and he said, Darren, he said, I'll tell you, he said, what they're doing to you people in East Palestine is criminal.